Hi, I'm Jeff Dixon, and this is the beginning of the end. Not the beginning of the end of the episode, but it's the beginning of the end of the topic we're talking about, because we're talking about prophecy. We're talking about what does it look like as the world continues to move forward into what many would call the end times. And we're doing it by asking questions. And then as we look at the answers to those questions, or the summary statements we can make about those questions, it helps us get a better understanding. Think of this series as a journey. Are you going to get the definitive answers? Probably not. Are you going to get some things that you can take and use as a gauge, as a marker, as a ruler, if you will, to see how far along we are? I think you will. And so today the question is, as followers of God, how should we approach and prepare for the coming end times? Now, if you're not a follower of God, this still applies to you, but it can't apply to you until you make the decision to believe and trust and follow Jesus. Because to survive the end times, to move through the end times and into eternity with God, it takes a faith commitment on your part. And so hopefully you've made that decision, and hopefully you're a follower of Jesus Christ. But as we move toward the approaching end times, how should you prepare? Let me give you three things. First one is stand fast. The end times is not a time to go running after new doctrine. And I say that understanding that there are a lot of new thoughts and new approaches toward Christianity that seem to just kind of emerge and bubble up from time to time that people just want to embrace. This is not time to be exploring new ideas about theology. The admonition here is to stand firm in the truth that you know. If there's ever been a time for people, the people of God, to understand and to be unequivocal about truth, this is it. Because in a previous episode, we talked about there would be signs of deception. And so how are you going to know if someone's trying to deceive you if you don't know the truth? See, the buzzword in our culture today is tolerance. But for me, I only want to be as tolerant as God is. And God is quite intolerant of things that are not true. And so for us, we have to learn to stand fast on truth and on things of faith. That's the first thing. The second thing is we have to hold on because it's really easy to get discouraged by the daily news. But in the midst of it all, there is Jesus who has a plan for our life, who has a purpose for our life, and has a passion for us as his people. And in that, we find encouragement. And so we need to cultivate our relationship with him, deepen our walk until he is not just one of the things in our life, but he is the one thing in our life that becomes the focus of who we are. And that's what we hold on to when life gets crazy, goes through times of upheaval, and confusion sets in. And so we stand fast and we hold on. And the third thing I would suggest is that we work hard. Because see, for a follower, our objective, our end game has never been not only to go to heaven, but our end game, if we ever learned how to do it right, is to take as many people with us as we possibly can. We share the gospel, we teach children, we build one another up, we strengthen one another, we encourage those who are falling, we reach out to those who are hurting. Because the Bible tells us in every good work, we are to spend time doing that until Jesus comes back. So, this is not a time to kick back in your lazy boy and watch it all fall apart. It's not time to hunker down and hide behind stained glass somewhere. It's not time to crawl under a padded pew and just wait for the world to all end and Jesus to come back. It's a time for those who seek the truth to start living it out in their lives every day. And so that really is the answer to the question we ask. If you're a follower of God, how should you prepare for the approaching end times? You stand fast on truth. You hold on to Jesus and let him be your one and only, not your one of many. And then you work hard doing the things that he created you to do. And if you do that, then you're doing what you're supposed to do as you approach the end times. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Those are the things that you need to do. And if you'll do them, you'll discover that you are not only prepared and ready, but you will be anticipating the end times. We'll continue this conversation in our next episode.